So the question is, what would be the first time you do the delay?
That is a good question. If I had to do an intro and it had to sound cool, it would sound something like, "Ladies and gentlemen.
Here it is.
Welcome back to another episode of The Running Bear.
Yeah, that's not even going to be in the episode.
No, there's no way that's going to be the intro, man.
Yeah,
there's
just
like,
no-
I will-
It's not cool.
I mean,
I will leave.
for all you know, this actually might be this moment right now. Might be the start of this all.
Gave me goosebumps. It was so
I
good.
don't know. Like, I feel like I think there's just kind of nerve disorder you have with goosebumps.
Oh man, I was expecting the whole room to be like, "Yo, you know what? Yes, that could be it." And it's just like, nah, get him out of there.
Oh, we're clipping on mics. You don't need to keep that mic so close.
Yeah, that one's needs some distance, man.
Yeah,
Back
if you're going to yell into that one, that's going to clip completely.
Like an amateur, like you've never done a podcast before.
It's my first one. It's my first.
And ain't no audio going to be clipping on my mics.
No, you were not gonna.
Not for you.
Can't do that.
Perfectionist.
Can't do Cody dirty like that.
Not the Grammy Award winner.
He won Grammys.
You know what? I see Grammys in his future. A couple. And the funny thing is, I know he's going to want to give them back. It's going to be for the things that he didn't work so hard for.
He's going to eat his millet out of his Grammy Award.
It's going to be the one project.
Hopefully it'll be in a bigger bowl than what I have right now.
I can't. A bucket?
Yeah.
It's a bathtub is next. I think it'll fit all the millet you
You
eat.
see me sitting in front of the bathtub with a spoon. Just the whole thing is filled with millet.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a lot of millet, man.
Dude, it's like air. It's like, it's just...
I don't understand. I take 4 spoons and I feel somebody just casted me in the ground.
Yeah.
And just, I don't know. I feel like flooring.
He eats 2 buckets.
I feel like a floor that just got floored on the floor.
You know what, man? Especially after last night, I do realize how much I'm using my mind all the time.
There you go.
That was a very powerful meditation.
It's a lot of energy.
Congratulations, man. You couldn't have done it without you. That's how Chris Mike would have said it. Could have done it without you.
I can't do it without you guys. It's because of you.
Nah, you're the
Just trying to be like you.
early riser, man. Early riser.
Just trying to be like you guys.
This morning, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna wake up before everybody. I wake up, and I walked in just to kind of talk shit because I didn't hear Chris leave. Gone, not even here. Has the car went for a drive already? I'm like, man, this guy's a.
Where do you go?
Where did any of us go?
But where do you go?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
It's a good question.
The rest of us were sleeping.
No, I like to be up early and I say just gather my scruples. Here, I'll go for a drive on near Sunset Station, watch the sunrise.
Oh, yeah.
I'll walk around this large parking lot and just breathe and listen to some stuff, like some spiritual stuff, kind of hone my mind.
Yo, I should have told you about the Whitney Mesa little trail. It's a little mountain area right by Sunset Station, actually. And you can just walk up and actually be on a plateau and watch the sunrise over the mountain.
That sounds amazing. I don't think I'm there just yet. just yet.
How long till you think you're there? I'm waiting to go on a hike, man. I'm waiting for your damn.
It's a very small hike. It's not even like a real hike. It's just a little incline
You
of
just hear
dirt.
stone.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, you're not there yet.
It sounds
Oh,
great.
because the
5
Achilles?
minutes.
Yeah, man. I know. It sounds great. It's been a work in progress,
see.
man. I wish I will. You know what? I wish I will. It's getting
You
there.
wish you will.
No, I will. I
Okay.
will. I
But
will.
you're changing I wish to I will.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I definitely will. Right now, no. but I will. Soon. I give myself 6 months. They said it takes about a year till I could actually like run again. I haven't ran in over 5 months. My first couple of months were crawling in and out of a bathtub, limping around. I had this boot on, and I just been immobilized, kind of trapped in a cave. To be honest with you, just alone, but not alone this time. It gave me a lot of flashbacks to like other injuries and being alone, secluded, and where your mind goes and what have you. But this one, this is gonna sound weird, man, but I'm very, very happy and very, very, very grateful for this, man. It's been such a such a blessing. It's been such a blessing.
So that's a very interesting approach and a very evolved approach to something that can be so traumatic in your life. What has happened that has given you that ability to approach this injury, this shift in your life, this limitation, this, whether it be temporary or not? Like, how have you been able to keep this mindset?
Oh, I'll be honest with you, Sniper. I don't look at it as a limitation. I look at it as a gift. And it was a gift that was given to me the moment it happened. And I never looked at it as this one anyway, an Achilles.
Well, limitation in the sense that it's a physical, temporary limitation. That's just what I'm kind of referring to.
Very much a physical limitation.
And I'll ask a question on top of his. What gave you the capacity to look at it as a gift?
Ooh, that's a deep question, dude. That's a deep
I'm just
question.
attaching it to his, like a clipping it on. I guess I would just have to kind of walk you through the context of it, because it's kind of it's more of a story than it is a moment. I thought I was going to be a professional athlete. I thought that was going to be my career. I thought that what I was going to do with life. At 15 years old, I decided I wanted to be in athletics. I wanted to do that. I was in school, and I knew I was going to continue to be in school, but I knew that I also was athletic, and I wanted to do something with that, because I felt that was my gift at that point in time. It was my strength. It was something that I had passion about, something that I was drawn to. And I had passion for it, because I could do it alone, and I personally had a connection with it, whatever that meant. So at 15, I decided that I'm going to do this. I clearly said I'm going to do this. And I started telling people about it, and people were like, nah. Nah, you shouldn't do that. You should maybe do something else. And I was genuinely, I was at first hurt, because I was like, I thought friends support friends. I thought family support friends. I thought it's like, cool, he just said he wants to do this. How do we get him there? I thought that's what I would get, and I was like, nah, like I don't see that for you. You don't waste your time. I'll help you. I'll help you now for then. And at first it was just genuine hurt, and confusion, because I'm like, I don't understand. I don't understand. It's more of a feeling, a reaction, because I was serious. I was very serious. As much as I'm serious now, I was very serious. Now physically, I was, I don't know, maybe with football, it goes height, weight, and it doesn't matter much. But my positions, I was a running back, and I was also a linebacker, fullback at that time. And I played a bunch of other positions, offense and defense. So I could play both ways. And I was athletic. I was shifty. I could catch, I could run, I could jump. But I wasn't huge. I was 6'1", 135 pounds at 15. 6'1", 135. 135, man, that's skinny. Wow. That's super skinny.
But he's 15.
Easy there, buddy.
Skeleton.
No, it just was what I was. I was tall. I had a growth spurt from 8th grade, my freshman year. I slowly got taller, and I thought I was going to be about 6'4", 6'6". My dad is 6'4". They always say you kind of pass your dad. My brother was short. He was 5. He was at that point in time. He's 5'9". I just blew past him. I'm like, see you later, buddy. I was like, it's over for you. It's over for you.
That always has to be a weird moment between a father and son when you finally cross the dad and you're like, oh man, what's the weather like down there?
Oh, so my brother's watching me grow up, and my brother he was shorter, stockier, and just different athletic ability. My brother was an amazing athlete. He still is an amazing athlete. All-state swimmer, all-state track and field. Could have been all-state in football, should he chose to. So I was always in competition with him, but he was shorter than I was. And I had this growth spur. I'm like, see you later, buddy. Now it's on. Except I was very much lighter. I was lighter, and he was shorter and stockier and a lot stronger than I was. Stronger base, stronger legs, faster twitch. He had all these fast twitch. I had slow twitch. So so people did, and actually people didn't. When I started telling people about it, it was like, okay, you great imagination, bro. Just let's.
You seem delusional to them.
Well, let's come down to reality. Let's
Yeah.
talk. Let's talk about reality. And for me, that was my reality because I knew.
Yeah.
I knew. As much as I just knew. And so anyway, that context is when I decided to do that. So I did. And that started me on a very lonely path of. I would go to the gym after school, and I would walk to the gym because I was like 135. I gotta eat. I gotta do what these people are doing as athletics to start training. I gotta start doing this stuff. I didn't know how. I didn't know where to start. People would probably like, start with your dad. At that point in time, my grandfather was older. My dad was in prison. So my grandfather was essentially my dad, and my grandfather would always teach me all this stuff. My grandfather was older, and he couldn't run, he couldn't do any of this stuff. He would just always tell me, you get what you put into it, practice makes perfect, and he always would teach me these lessons of life, of how to get and do the thing that you want to do. But he couldn't show me physically. And physically, at that point in time, I was young, arrogant. I was like, I'm running like the wind, Grandpa. I'm like, I need to go run like the wind. I need to go. I need to be free. And then he died. And then he died in high school. And
You were in high school?
I was in high school.
And that was like the father figure in your life.
Yeah, he was. He was. And then I remember just feeling alone. And so during this time, I'm saying, okay, well, I have these lessons that were instilled upon me. I'm going to do this thing. So I start walking to this gym every day. And I just keep telling myself, I'm going to do this. I'm doing this. It's happening. And I walk into this gym, and I meet this guy. His name is Will, this Jack guy. He's somewhere from the Middle East. I don't know exactly where, but he was jacked. And he
This was your first Mo.
It was my first moment. He was so happy. He was so happy. He reminds me of you, Mo, because you're so big and you're aesthetically huge, and he was big, huge, and he was so happy and such a friendly guy and welcoming. And usually when at least in that kind of personality, big, swole, muscular person, usually intimidating because some people have like a pit bull face. You're mean and you're aggressive and you're like, this guy's dangerous, and there's a danger factor. This guy was like a fatherly fellow. It was. I was like, man, this guy is. It's different. It's different. It's a different vibe. He's a different relationship with something, and I didn't understand it. But he just always invited me back. He was like, hey, come to this gym. It was like a small gym. It was called Armstrong Gym in West Haven, Connecticut. And we would go there, and he introduced me to protein for the first time. He asked me, do you know what protein is? I said, like protein shakes. I see people like Muscle Milk and stuff. He's like, okay. Okay, I'm just naming shit. Protein, weights and lift, you get big. And he's like, okay, something like that. And he was like, just come back tomorrow. I'll show you something. And from that day forward, he was sponsored by this brand at that point in time that was called Protein. And he was like, I'll cut you a deal. I'll give you these for like $25. I was broke, and he's like $25 a month, and you just come here and you take this. I'll keep it right here behind this counter. It'll be for you. I'll make protein shakes for you every day. I was like, awesome. So I would walk there after school, and then I would go and take the bus home after that. And that summer, I put on 35 pounds of muscle.
That's huge.
Yes.
That's
So that's a lot to put out in a summer.
That is a lot.
I was there every day. I was there every day because I felt like I had a friend. And I had friends, but my friends were doing other stuff. Mm-hmm. And I decided to do this thing.
Wait, but did you go like through a growth spurt or something during that same time? Did that coincide with that?
It did.
That sounds like a lot of weight to put on in a summer.
One summer.
I was
Assuming it was muscle, right?
all muscle.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All muscle. Well, I was about, my growth spurt was probably about 1.5 inches. So I was tall. That's why I thought.
So it's like your muscles were maturing during that time.
I was just very skinny, and at that point in time, I was just very skinny, and they were like, "Oh, you have a fast metabolism," and because I was very active, I was always running, I was always very active, I was always playing football since I was 8, and I was always moving, I was always outside, skateboarding, breakdancing, I was always doing something athletic, always moving outside, and they would say, you have fast metabolism, so I didn't focus, I didn't have a focus on eating, I just lived, and I lived outside, and I was happy with that, and this guy was like, I He's like, I got you. Just come here. And he would always introduce something little by little, and it was never like too much because I was intimidated because there was weights and then there were machines. I didn't know what they were doing, and it looked like a huge, BDSM torture facility. All these weights, and then there's ropes, and then there's dark rooms and dusty stuff. I'm like, it's intimidating. It was intimidating because I don't know, because you see jack people walking around owning this place. I'm like, I don't even know what that does. I don't even know what body part that works out, but the dude has all of them. I'm like, how do I, like, so I didn't have the confidence to go in there because I also didn't know what I was doing. And he would introduce these things to me, and he would essentially be the reason I gained 35 pounds that summer. And he taught me something about myself through consistency in the form of the body. He introduced nutrition to me and proper body movement, and he got me to a place where my world changed, and I didn't even know this man like that. I didn't have that kind of relationship, but he helped me. He helped me significantly, and I go to school and everyone's like, cool, Chris is on steroids. Chris just came back, Jack. He's on the sauce, man. He's on the sauce. In the back of my mind, I'm like, I don't even know what the first thing to start with the sauce. Like, what is the sauce? Like, it sounds cool. You're on the sauce, bro. I'm like, I got the sauce, telling everybody, I got the sauce, bro. They're like, yeah, we know. Like, we know you got the sauce. I'm like, yeah, I got the sauce.
That was just some slang.
I got the sauce, bro. And then they're like steroids. Like, oh no, I gotta get drug tested eventually. No steroids. Steroids.
No sauce.
No sauce. We're not
without
saucy.
sauce.
We're without sauce. So long story short, doing that allowed me the opportunity to get good and get better, and it allowed me to introduce an actual routine that I seen results on by consistency, but also walking alone, with the help of someone who believed something in me. And to this day, I'm very thankful for that. That got me the opportunity to go into college, in which now I'm playing college football. Now I am at a Division I college. And getting from a high school to Division I college is a dream in itself. It's a dream in itself, and my dream was always, okay, NFL. So I knew that was going to be a step. I knew it was going to be a step. I knew it. It wasn't a question. It wasn't a question I was going to college and play. It wasn't a question. I knew. And I get here to this place, and it's night and day difference. Back to being a toddler in this thing of knowledge, because now I'm introduced to a completely different amount of information and wisdom of the body, of your performance, of a regimen. It's different now. Now it's not you eat your macros, you gain weight. Now it's tip-top performance of your body. Your body has to perform to its maximum capacity, if not close to it. You have to be.
It's like you're turning your body into like a machine for a very specific task now.
It is now. Now it's your business. Your body is your business. And you have to take care of your business. You have to stretch. You have to hydrate. You have to understand your sleep patterns and your recovery, because you are training this thing to be its best. Its best. Now, I didn't understand. I didn't understand all of that because I thought I was doing that. I thought this guy taught me that lesson was me being my best. And then I realized, well, that wasn't my best at all. It was a lesson, and I got something from that lesson, but it wasn't my best. And so as I look back at that, okay, now I have to relearn. So I'm relearning this, and it's difficult. It's difficult. We're doing a lot of difficult things throughout this overall journey. This journey has been, it's testing my mind, it's testing my body, and my body is adapting, and so is my mind. So fast forward 3 years, I worked my way into a starting position going into my senior year at a Division I college. The person who I was backing up just went to NFL. And he was mentoring me behind him. Shout out Henry Hanyaski, in the University of Pittsburgh. I've learned so much from the way he conducted business and the way he understood this game intellectually, and the way he could understand something made me realize that there's so many levels to these things. And there was something that I got to that level through my physicality, but I knew that it wasn't enough. So my mental wasn't as developed as his in this game. For some reason, maybe his dad was also in the NFL. So he ultimately had this. He had this backing and this knowledge and this foundation that I did not have, but I was still around it. I was around people going to the NFL. As we're having the conversation, the same thing. Same thing. I'm talking to them. They went to the NFL. They're in the NFL. I know plenty of people who are in the NFL. So I was like, it's only a matter of time. We're doing the same. We're eating the same stuff. We're eating lightning. We're crapping thunder, dude. Like together, and we are. We actually are. We break bread. We're doing the same thing. It's only a matter of time. You just got to keep going. So, long story short, worked myself into a lineup, getting ready for my senior year, going in this, and we call them springs. So it's spring scrimmages before you go into your senior year. In my mind, now I'm thinking combine, because your pro day and your combine is going to be a huge indication of your stock, your draft stock. Now, my position at that point in time was fullback / running back, like a heavy back. Because at that point in time, now I'm about 245. I'm 245 pounds. I'm 6'2". I'm running about a 4.6. My benching almost 400 pounds. My squat's close to about maybe 5 something. Power clean was never super strong, but I was maybe in like 280s or something like that.
Damn.
What's yours, Mo?
So that's where it got. That's where that introduction, it got me to that point.
Wait, I do want to ask before you move on, because I actually don't know what this word means. I heard that. What is a combine? Can you explain that?
Yeah. So the NFL Combine is essentially a tryout amongst people who are invited. You're invited based on your skill, your position.
So it's like auditions almost.
It's tailored auditions.
Like athlete auditions.
Yes, you're personally essentially invited. You're invited to this combine to perform, and all these NFL scouts come there, and you're with other athletes from all around the country, and they watch you. They watch how you participate in drills, how you move, how you listen. They're grading you. Now this is everything at the pinnacle, because everything you do, the way you walk, the way you speak, the way you say yes sir, the way you have eye contact, the way you answer a question, the way you conduct yourself and support people, the way you walk on and off of a field, which you don't. You always jog on and off of a field. You never walk. You never walk on a field. These are the things that were instilled. So I was ready for this. I trained my entire life for this. I was excited and I was so nervous. And backtrack a little bit before it ever got to that. I'm going through springs, and I remember our coaches just changed, and we had a new system come in, and I was going to a heavy third bound running back / fullback, because I was heavy, but I was moving. I had some wheels then. And then one play, I just remember I got the ball. I went to go cut. I seen this hole. I ran in this hole, and next thing you know, so that hole closed up so quick, it just gone. And I went to go bounce out, so I planted my leg, and it felt like someone. We call them stingers. It felt like someone took a helmet and just straight to the outside of my knee. And I thought that's what happened. I thought a pile fell over. Somebody's helmet hit my knee, and just on the side of my knee. And I tried to get up. And as I'm getting up, my leg locked. And I've never had that. I usually walk off stingers. I probably twisted and pulled and broke. I don't break too much, but I've broken bones, fingers, toes. Twisted ankles, hands, shoulders, everything you could probably think of. This was different, just locked, and then it let go. And I was whoa, this is weird. I tried to my my weight on it. I tried to take a couple of steps, but it was a speed offense. So we're getting ready for the next play. It's still going. It's like whistles go, get back up in the field. So I get back up, and I line back up, and I'm like, I'm gonna just run this off. Ball goes to me again. I get the ball. Now I try to push off, and it just locks, and I just dropped. I just dropped, locked, and I dropped, and I was like, man. So I got up. I was like, what's wrong? I just pulled over. And I tried to run to the sideline, and I'm like, man, I can't really put weight on it. So I slowly jog off, this field, and
Like, how much pain was there at this point?
when you get a stinger, there's always pain. There's
But
always
nothing out of the ordinary.
nothing out of the. It didn't feel out of the ordinary, but I was definitely in pain then. I was in pain, but all stingers are painful. Like it's a shock of pain, and you walk it off. Eventually, it goes away, and maybe it swells up a little bit, whatever have you. Well, that's why I thought it happened. I jogged off. Doctor comes over. He's checking it out. Feeling it up. He's doing some movements, and then right now it's starting to swell up. So you can't. I just can't do anything about it. So he was like, hey, put some ice on it. And they were like, all right, cool. Walk it off and come to the training room in the morning. So I'm out of the scrimmage. I'm sitting there, and then it's just throbbing. So I go home that night. I'm limping, walking real slow. I'm thinking it's a really bad bruise. So I go back, and I go back to my apartment, and I'm sitting there, and I am just, now I'm thinking, man, would that, like, the thoughts going through my mind is how quickly can I get back to this? I have this season coming up, whatever this is. I'm thinking ACL, maybe like a tweak or something. Or what is it? Because ACL is like in my mind 6 months. I just know numbers. 6 months, at least from a rehab to getting back full speed is what I'm thinking. And I can't sleep. I don't sleep. I'm in pain. I'm tossing and turning all night. And I can't touch my toes. I can't touch my feet. I can't bend to touch my feet. And I go back to the athletics training room, and I have swelling, a lot of swelling. And day goes by, and they iced it. I put some like some stem and stuff like that on it, and they're waiting for the swelling to go down. So I do this for about 2 days. I gimp around very, very, very slowly for about 2 days. I'm walking, and I don't have crutches per se, but I'm just very, very, very slow. And I'm trying not to show that I'm in pain, but I'm in pain now. Now I'm in pain. I'm really uncomfortable. And my calf muscle starts turning black and blue. And my bottom of my foot starts turning black and blue. So I go in there, and this athletic trainer is... he looks very concerned. He goes to get the other athletic trainer, and we do a couple of tests. He's like, Chris, I want you to come back at this time. We're gonna send you up the street at UPMC to get an MRI. And I was like, okay, sure. And we do that. Go to get an MRI that day. It's rushed. MRIs usually take a while, but in that program they have their own machines and stuff like that. So anyway, I go to there and get the MRI, come back to facility, and I'm waiting for someone to say something to me, and it's very quiet. It's very quiet. And I'm nervous because I'm like, I don't know if I should call my mom, tell her, I don't know. I don't know what the damage is. I'm waiting. I'm pending the whatever the result it is. So afternoon comes, it feels like 5 weeks. Feels like a month. I go up there. I'm like, hey man, did you guys get the MRI? It's like, we did. The doctor's gonna be in here in the next hour or so. He's gonna have a talk with you. I was like, okay. And it was like, cool. Come back at this time. I come back, and now there's about 5 people in this room when I walk in there, and they're trainees, athletic trainees. And then there's the doctor, then there's the head athletic trainer, then there's the sub athletic trainer. It's about maybe 7 people. And he's like, follow me. We walk into this room. Now I'm in a room with 7 people. Now I'm fucking almost shaking because I'm just nervous. Like, what is going on? And he pulls up this thing, and it's my MRI. and he was like, "Do you mind if we talk to you about this MRI?" Sure. So he pulls it up, puts it on the screen, and he's like, "See this right here, this white thing?" So yeah, he's like, "This is your ACL." So fantastic. Pulls up the other one, it's gone. ACL's gone. 6 months in my mind. Fuck. 6 months. Okay. 6 months. I got this. See this thing right here? I was like, okay, that's your LCO. I was like, okay, that's cool. That's gone. Now I'm like, LCL, what the fuck is it? LCL? What? See this thing over here? Now I'm almost in shock. I'm just shaking a little
Like
bit.
it's not even over yet.
It's because the time in my mind, I'm just thinking, I have this combine coming up. I've got this performance that I've worked my entire life for coming up in a couple of months. And I'm in the best shape of my life. And I should be doing this thing. And he's like, see this thing right here? It's your hamstring tendon back to attach your leg. No, that's all through.
Oh my God.
And he's trained these athletic trainees because it was such a significant knee injury. It was such a significant one that they were surprised I didn't have nerve damage and I could still essentially move my toes. I could move my ankles. Usually there's some kind of nerve damage and you either can't lift your foot, you can't push down on your foot. Usually there's some kind of nerve damage, but that was intact. It was just ligaments from the way it got hit. They showed me the video. I thought I got hit from the outside. I thought someone took it outside. Inside. Snapped everything. Oh. So and when I seen that, I was like, oh, okay. Now my mind's like, man, I know what it felt like, but the imagery in my mind's so different. So I'm like, okay, the way that happened, okay. Now I'm putting time in my mind, 6 months and 8 months. I've never had an injury that went that long. I broke bones, collarbone and fingers and stuff like that. And usually, it's, I don't know, it's until it heals. Just immobile to you heal. So they're like, we're going to have surgery, emergency surgery. And I was okay. That's okay. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, would I have surgery before I had my tonsils out? My adenoids. I never had a major surgery or nothing like that. And they had this very serious look on their face. And I wasn't too concerned. And they're like, you might never play football again, right? And he was like, but you'll be able to, like, if you believe, you'll be able to get back to a functioning lifestyle, but it's going to be very difficult. And you're going to have to work really hard. And they're like, but I can't tell you when. Because everybody's different, everybody heals different. I can't tell you when. But I could promise you if you work hard, I'm going to do my best to repair this for you. And if I repair it for you, it's going to eventually be to a point where you can move. You'll be able to run. You'll be able to use your leg normally. I'm like, okay, I got this. I could do this. And I had this surgery. So I'm having this surgery. My coach is there. And right before I have surgery, which was very odd for me, because my parents are also there, and they're talking, saying this is going to be a very serious operation. It's going to be very, very serious. It's going to be very long. We're going to give him 2 nerve blocks. At this point in time, 2 days ago, I'm running as fast as I possibly can. I'm in the best shape of my life, man.
Oof, dude, what a switch.
Mentally, I'm good. I'm so close. And I kept saying to myself, I was so close. I'm so close. I don't understand. I didn't understand. I kept saying, I just don't understand. I was so close. How? Excuse me. Of all times, it could have happened any other time. I've played so much football in my life. Just that play, one play, and you always know your one play could be your last play. You know that. But this close, it doesn't. No, I don't understand. It doesn't make sense. It didn't make sense.
So if you could I want to take a second to highlight this moment, because this is a crazy moment to happen when like you said, you're running the fastest you've ever run in your life. You're in the best shape of your life. And in a snap of a finger, everything that you thought you were going to have, everything that you thought you were going to do, including maybe even walk again, is all just told it's an up to question. So like, what does a moment like that feel like to you? Like if you can describe how is this hitting you emotionally? Because you have so much coming, and here you are.
I'm just in shock. I'm in shock. I'm in frustration. I'm confused. I'm emotional. I feel ashamed. I have so much shame.
Are you even like are you accepting it at this point, or is there some kind of denial as well? Because you're young. It's like older is a different thing. You're young. I feel like there must be a denial because you probably never have had something like that even close before.
I don't even understand what I'm about to get into. I can't even comprehend. The only thing that kept going through my mind is I have to call my mom and I have to tell her. And I pick up the phone and I can't even get it out. She's like, "Hey, what's going on?" I was, "Ma, you know that promise I made you, in this thing. I can't do it, And I felt like I let her down, And because of that, it was very heavy for me. And because I always promised her, So going into the surgery, I was like, I promise you I'll be the best coming out of it, whatever that means, whatever it means. But I can't fulfill this word I gave you. Not now. And as I go into this surgery, and this moment, at this point I'm okay. Let's do this. Whatever, let's fucking do this.
Let's crack my knuckles and get into this.
Now I'm just I don't know why. I don't know why. Let's just fucking go. Let's just do this. And I have the surgery, and after the surgery, I wake up, and my leg's numb. I have a nerve block in my front of my leg, and I have a nerve block on the back of my leg. I have two nerve blocks that I have to carry around. My parents, they're with me for the first week. I have this ice thing I got attached to my knee every couple hours for swelling, and my leg's essentially locked forward, just locked. And I got this thing on here, and it's a nerve block. And I would remember the first 2 days I slept a lot because that's all I wanted to do was sleep. I just wanted to sleep. And when I woke up, it was just a hard reality that I was still in it. But every time I fell asleep in those first 2 days, it was almost like I was waiting to wake up into something else.
Yeah.
So that actually felt better than being awake, because being awake was a hard reality for me. And then eventually the nerve blocks over a couple weeks, they stopped working, and that's not where you run this path, the nerve block. And now I am in so much pain. I have a pain I've never experienced in my life ever, to the point where I can't sleep. I can't sleep at all. My parents, they go back home because they work and they can only take so much time off to be there. So I'm in an apartment, and I convinced them to do it. Don't worry, Ma, I got this. I've got friends up here. I have friends. Cool, we're good. Don't worry, I got this. So they go back, and I'm in this place by myself, and I'm in so much pain. Because in my mind, I'm thinking it's gonna slowly, gradually go away. It's gonna gradually go away. And it didn't. It lingered. And for probably 2, 3, after 3 weeks, 4 weeks of off and on sleep, I'm like, oh my God, I don't feel like myself. I was active every single day. I was physically active, mentally active. I was alert. I was good. I was in social situations. I was moving. I was communicating. I was laughing. And now I'm just in pain. I can't sleep. All these things are rushing through my head. And it's shame is saying, hey, everybody in this world's going to know you're a failure. And I'm just sitting here in all this pain. Like, why? Why? I don't understand. I don't get it. And I don't understand. And that's about 4 weeks. This goes on for about 4 months, 5 months. And in these 4 or 5 months, now, I'll be honest with you, I lose my shit. I lose my mind. I tell anybody that. That's probably a point of my life where I lost my mind. And I was alone in this dark studio room because I lived on the third floor of this old house. It had no AC. It was an old house, like in late 1800s. It was hot, and I would go to this place across the street just to get food. So I would wait for the people to come out of this door so I could crawl down the stairs so they didn't get to see me crawling. Like I just like my butt sliding down and shit, and until I could like get my crutches and they'll go there. And I always had to have backpacks. I couldn't carry 2 things in 2 hands, so I could never. It was always a process, and that goes on for about 4 months, 5 months, and I'm going back and forth to the university for like rehab and for therapy and stuff. And I just would always come back to this place, and I would just be there. And I feel like at that point in time, I got very, very, very depressed. Borderline suicidal, because I couldn't sleep. I was like, what the fuck is the point of all of this? Like, because now at 6 months, I can't, I still can't walk right. I still have pain. I can't run. I can't do anything. I haven't really worked out like that. I'm not trying to be top heavy. But this leg got so skinny. It was muscle atrophy, so it got really, 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 really skinny. So I was like, I'm not going to work out because I looked disproportionate, weird. But I also didn't want to take too many showers because I had to have a brace on there, so I had to crawl in and out of showers. Literally crawl in and out. I was going to sit in the shower because you couldn't stand. So I was like, I really don't want to be in a wheelchair the rest of my life. I don't want to have a wheelchair girlfriend that I can't have sex with. And then I started thinking all the stuff of what made me a man in that moment. My physicality, my attractiveness that they had, my ability to have the confidence I had, and I had none of that. I was broken. I was skinny. I was disabled. I'm walking around with a limp. I don't have confidence. I definitely have no sex game because I have a skinny leg and my butt cheeks are flat, so I have no. Everything's off. Everything is off, and I'm like, I can't. I don't see life. This is not life because my life has never been this, but this is my life now. So I'm living in this thing, and I'm like, fuck. And I battled a long time with that, just with myself. Why? I don't. What could you have done different? And I'm just having these conversations, and the thoughts are always there. It's always there. And then I had this book, and somebody gave me this book. It was a sports Bible, and it was because I was an athlete and I was going to college. They're like, "This is a cool gift," and I never opened it. But I had it, and it was in my closet, and I took it. I opened it, and as I'm going through it. It was there were stories about people in their life, and these passages were essentially moments of their life where spirituality made an impact in the thing that they did. Famous tennis players, famous baseball players, famous swimmers, famous people who persevered to greatness, and I started reading their stories. In their stories and for these people that I've never met them. I may never meet them ever, but their stories allowed me to get outside of myself, and I just had a little bit of hope, just a little bit, and said, if this person could do this, maybe one day I can help someone with that. Maybe I'm looking at this wrong. Maybe this is something for me to understand later. Maybe I'm gonna help a bunch of people in wheelchairs. Maybe I'm gonna help people who maybe never could walk again or couldn't put on their socks. Because dude, every time I would cry trying to put on my socks because I couldn't reach my foot. And all I wanted, my feet were cold, and all I wanted to do was put a sock on. And it's the weirdest thing. I was so
Simplest
emotional.
things too. Yeah.
It was just a different emotional shit for me. So I resonated so much in this book. And this book essentially helped me, man. This book and the stories of these people that I may never meet, but their stories somehow gave me hope. It gave me hope to say, they went through it. They went through something. And so as I read some of these stories, some crazy stories. So some people were in car accidents. Their entire family died. In an accidental something, and this person was essentially paralyzed but regained function, and then went on to run and do all this other stuff, and then change these societies. That's crazy. That's crazy. Another story, somebody else, what story after story. And I started resonating with that. And the commonality was a relationship with God and the spiritual balance that they had. And in that moment, I had a revelation. I had my aha moment, whatever you want to call it. That to that moment, I dated God. I had a relationship with God very early on in my life.
What do you mean when you say that?
Earlier in my life, I was an altar boy. My grandmother was I think I would call her an angel. She was a saint. She comes from Jewish a background, but she came here in America and escaped the Holocaust. My grandma, her mother, and my great grandmother, escaped the Holocaust and came here, and she didn't convert to Catholicism, but she was in all these churches because she was a professional singer. And as a professional singer, she would sing to the churches, funerals, and she would set her entire life up on service. And people would pay her because she also loved what she did. So she just did that. And she was involved with the church and always was in service. She was anything but a nun. But they wanted her to be there so much as she could have been. And that always trickled to me. So I became an altar boy very early on. I'd be the guy carrying the cross out there and bringing out the wafers, and the wine, and the white robe. I was that guy, and all my friends were having fun, and they were doing all this stuff other than what I was doing. I felt alone doing that because I was always around old people and I couldn't relate really, and I didn't understand. So I was confused, and I said, you know what? All my friends are having fun, and then I had this thing where my dad wasn't in my life, and I didn't understand that. And I was like, why would I had my grandfather? I didn't have my dad, and I was confused as a kid. So I was like, why would good things happen to good people? Maybe God isn't trying to bless our family. Maybe we're cursed, because you hear that in families are cursed. And so I was like, I'm gonna figure this out. I just have to figure this myself. I'll be back, God. I'll be back. And I started doing things my way. Because I said, if I have intention, I could do it. Because my life was that physical. If I have intention, I could make it happen. I could manipulate this world, and I could grow things, I could move things, I could twist it. I could do it. As long as I had the capacity to do that. And this is just ignorant. Just ignorant and dumb. But throughout my life, I developed this ego more around self than around spirit. And in that moment, I realized how much I have been removed from my spirit and my spiritual balance with God and my relationship with God, my daily prayers, my daily check-ins of being grateful, and being grateful for conversations and meals and just having a good conversation, breaking bread, knowing we woke up and we're breathing. It wasn't about that. It wasn't about that. It was about, I'm gonna make all this money. We're gonna build this business. It was about stuff. And then all my stuff got taken away. Everything I thought I was, my ego was attached to. I was big, strong, fast, athlete. I wasn't that. Overnight, you're not none of that. Shut up. And I sat in that, and in that I feel like I lost my mind. But then something else came. something else came in that, and it was almost like there was a spark, and then there was something where gasoline was poured onto that, and then that began to grow. I started with something little, writing words, just checking in, writing words, studying these stories more. I got back to praying and saying things I was thankful for, and started to really just get outside of myself. Get outside of myself, because I realized I'm broken. I'm a very flawed man. That's where that comes from.
That's the origin of the catchphrase.
I'm a very flawed man. And because in that moment I got to see all my flaws. Firsthand, I got to sit there with them. Couldn't run from them. I just had to live with them and accept them. I couldn't hide. I couldn't run. I couldn't jump. Just wait. Just wait. And it was torture at first, and I feel like I lost my mind until something else happened. And it happened. I can't say it's because of me that it happened, but I was there. Mm-hmm. I was there when it happened. And when that happened, it began to grow. And then people started to come. Support systems started to come out of nowhere. New friends started coming out of nowhere. Different relationships started coming from there. Different stories started to come from there. And things started to grow. And it gave me more hope, and it gave me more hope. And I just took one step, and one step, and one step, and one step, to the point where one day I jogged. After I jogged, I'm balling, bro. I'm balling, because it wasn't fantastic. And so now I have my confidence. Well, about 5, 6 months, I got my confidence, because I'm not jogging great, and I have a really bad limp. I go to this athletic trainer, and I said, I got this. They do some tests. It's like, get Chris, I'm be honest with you. I said, what's up? He's like, you're gonna have another surgery.
Oh.
What do you do? No, you don't know. No, you don't understand. You don't. For what? I was like, for what? Scar tissue in your knee. He's like, it's not gonna be as bad as your first one, but it's not gonna be great. It's not gonna be as bad. It's not gonna be as bad. You got this. I can't even think twice about another surgery. I can't think about going through what I just went through. And I was like, I don't know. I think I could live without it.
He's trying to get at Nick now.
I think we could
bargaining.
I think we could work without it.
All of a sudden he's in a fish market. It's all right. Come on, best price, man.
We can work without it.
Let me go.
Yeah, there's some hope. We got hope. We're praying. Let's pray. Let's pray.
Check out this Bible agreement.
Let's pray together. He's like, yeah, no. So I'm like, we could get out of this thing. And he's like, well, we set your surgery for tomorrow.
Oh.
And I said, okay. Okay. I go in there. This guy brings me. My parents can't make it this time. He picks me up, and I go in there. I'm kind of in shock, and I'm just like, okay. Sure, it's not gonna be like the first one. Like, no, it's not gonna be that bad. But we are going to have to put you in a brace, because the scar tissue locked up. So I was walking around with a really bad limp, kind of like a pirate. It was like a pirate. I understand how pirates would have been pirates now, with the peg leg and shit. I get it. They would just cut it off and not have the limp, you know. But this thing, it locked up, and you can't straighten it. So you have this one leg that's kind of like bent, and they have this one that's straight. So now my hips are thrown off. So my kinetic system's being thrown off. My back's starting to hurt. I'm starting to have some lower back problems because I'm compensating on one leg. My other leg's being extremely compensated. So I'm throwing off my system. He's like, long term, it's not gonna be. You don't want that, because we could fix it now. You just have to go through surgery. And I was like, I don't think you understand. I don't think you know what. He's like, nah, you got this. Don't worry about it. So I go in there, do this thing. I wake up, and my leg is hyperextended now. Now I couldn't straighten it. Now it's hyperextended, and it's locked. They put a cast on it, and they locked it that way. And they put something under my leg, so now I can't bend it at all. I'm locked in this position, And they're like, you have to. He's like, we're gonna keep it there for 9 days. And when I woke up, oh, these motherfuckers lied. Oh,
Damn.
they lied. Oh, this sucks. Back to just so much pain. And it was such a strong achy pain. And it was almost, it wasn't the same pain. It was a similar pain. Not the same pain, just a different place. Yeah. Different ache. Still same thing. Doesn't go away. So now I'm like, all right, 9 days. 9 days, this thing comes off. 9 days. What do I do for 9 days? I locked myself in this room, and I tried to sleep as much as I possibly could. I took oxycodons. They gave me pain meds. I would take some of those, and then I stopped taking them because of how they made me feel. Because I would just remember just waking up. I don't remember actually falling asleep. I would just wake up, and I thought that was weird because I would be like, yeah, nah. Then I would wake up, and I realized I was asleep, and that to me was really, I didn't like that.
Strange, yeah.
But that was actually the only way I could sleep at that time.
Of course, drugs will make you sleep. Only drugs can make you sleep in that situation.
So in that moment, I think I back to my mind. The suicide thing's not too bad. It's not too bad. Versus this pain thing, I'm empathized. I understand.
You just gotten yourself out of this, and now here you are again.
At least better. I was better to the point where I was in that much pain. I was managing, and I was at least be able to go places and almost try and live a normal life. I was around people. People weren't judging me as much because I was able to move. This one, back to this. So, long story short, I go through that for about 9 days. All these things go through my mind again. I don't know how long I'm going to do this. Now I'm thinking about people who actually have like amputated legs. And people, but now it's different though. It's different because those stories are with me. Now the first one was me. It's me, I, me. Second one, well, these people did it. And I know because they went through this stuff, and they said, God help us. So I was just praying. I said, God, I don't understand. I hope one day I do. Thank you for using me as this vessel. Thank you for allowing me this opportunity to talk to you. Thank you. It started with that. Just thank you. And I kept checking in, and it sucked. But the pain wasn't as bad with that because I didn't feel alone. I had the pain, but I didn't feel alone. First one, I felt alone. I felt in a dark place. I felt really dark and alone and cold. And second one, I didn't feel alone. I was in pain.
How long were you healing for?
That entire process, my brother took a year and a half, 2 years. By that time, I'm beginning my 20s. All my friends are going to NFL. I'm watching them go to NFLs and combines. I'm watching people move away and start their careers, and I'm just watching all this life happen so fast. There was a girl at that time that I was talking to, and I really, really liked her. I really, really liked her. She was like, Chris, I'm falling in love with you. And I was like, I'll save you the trouble. Save you the trouble. No, thank you. And I told her just like that, and I walked away. And I never told her why. But I was so broken that I was like, I can't even walk with you. I have nothing to give you. I have nothing to give you. I don't want to embarrass you.
And how did you tear up your R.K. Kelly?
What?
For translation, for all those viewers out there, he means the Achilles tendon.
I love you, dude.
Oh man, that was didn't see that coming.
So
Because it followed with a different injury later on in life.
it did. It did. So that was that. So I know that's a very long story, man. It's a very long story, but I want to provide the context because I went to a really dark place in my life very early on in my life. And I thought I was gonna lose. I was depressed. Or I thought about suicide. And I've never thought about suicide in my life, but I empathized at that point in life. I thought about being in a wheelchair for the rest of my life. I thought about being disabled for the rest of my life. And I thought my life, with my imagination and certainty, could have been the worst of the worst. And I started redating God then, and that relationship just turned to being something really grateful.
Where did that shift happen, though? So you went through such a dark, intense time, nothing but pain, nothing but loss. But what was the catalyst that changed the mindset, actually? What was it in the relationship with God? If so, what about the relationship with God brought this awareness into you, this respect and appreciation for all that you just went through? Like, where is that?
That started coming in the world of whispers, small signs, things that hit me in a place. From that place, for example, someone who is in a situation and you just happen to be there. You're in the same place. It has nothing to do with you, but you're there, and because you're there, someone needs a hug, and you're the person who's there to give them the hug, and they say, "Yo, thank you," because I didn't thank you, because I don't know. I just thank you. No words are needed. But if you're not there, because you're somewhere else, because you want to do something else, that person doesn't get that. Now, it's not you. You just happen to be there. Mm-hmm. You're there. And you're there for a reason. And you were there for that person. And that person was so happy that you were just there. I started noticing all of those in my life. And then I started seeing these synchronicities, and I started seeing all of these blessings, and I started seeing all of these moments around me that would align of just thankfulness, and I started seeing unity. And I started seeing things outside of, way outside of me. It wasn't about me. And from that point on, there was no me. That guy, he died. He's dead. I watched him die. I was with him. I buried him.
Yeah.
You know? And something else came from that. And then that something else touched somebody else. And then that touched somebody else. And then that touched somebody else. And then that touched. But it wouldn't have happened if you were here. Not like that. And you were meant to touch somebody that way. Just like those people in that book were meant to touch me who I will never meet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was actually going to say that because it sounds like from the story that the real shifting moment came when you were introduced to the stories of others. And that was like a catalyst for you to understand the fight that exists within the human spirit. And it was something you never needed before because you never put in the situation. But it was the first time you were in a place where you had to find within you a power to get you out of it. And you saw examples of other people and what they went through. And as you said, in some cases, way worse than you could have ever even imagined. The level of loss was different. Yeah. The level of injury was different. And the consequences were different. But there's a fight within the spirit. And then here you are as one of those people now. You know, like you went through something and then you found the fight. And then, because this was all to answer my question when I asked, like, what gave you the capacity to be able to look at something like a gift. So it's only like when something like that happens, you know, you can either take it as an opportunity to suffer, you know, as a lot of people do and crumble, and you know how close you got. Like of all people, you felt how close you were in that moment, but then you found a fight within you with the help of the example of others. And then that you saw that spirit exists within everybody. And on that, it strengthened your relationship with God, as you said, your spirituality, yourself. You understood that you can get through anything. And then now we're all talking about how you have injuries come and go now, and even if they are something that a lot of people couldn't deal with, it's light to you because you know the spirit exists. You know it's inside of you, so it's a challenge.
I never met you as a person who's in pain. I've always met you as a person who's very strong. You always work on your physique differently. You're always on point differently. You always get shit done. And I would have never ever thought that you had years of not being able to walk and like having this kind of difficulties, because you seem to be the one who walks the most and works out the most.
I appreciate that, man. I do.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, and I still try and do that. I do that because I can, and because I know that what it's like to not do it. To answer your question, how I tore my Achilles, just doing things. I was hiking. I'm training to hike mountains now. I find a lot of solitude in hiking mountains, and I was doing a lot of training, and ended up just tearing it, and I just tore it, and it feels nothing like the other thing. In my mind, I thought Achilles was similar. I thought it was like the same thing, same kind of injuries. Every time they talk about, it's a bad injury, bro. It's a bad injury. It's horrible. It's not good. I didn't think it was that bad at all. I told Shiv earlier. I told you guys. Thank you.
Dude, it's crazy that
I truly feel that way.
you walked it off. You literally
Yeah.
this one.
Yeah.
It took a while to walk off.
Yeah, but he just walked it off from the beginning. Didn't care.
Yeah.
He just got into it, did what he got to do.
Mm-hmm.
And incredible that it was synchronized with the manifestation of this very podcast.
It is, man. And those stories absolutely help. And there's so many differences between that time and this time. I'm not the same person. My spirits it's a lot stronger from this one. My relationship, like I said, with God, we were dating. I said we're definitely married. We're in union, whatever you want to call that. But my relationship with God's so much stronger. So much. My faith is so much more stronger. My gratitude is so much stronger because it's something that I truly believe in since that moment. And when things like this happen, this is physical. It's a physical thing. I've broke physical. I broke physical. I broke mental.
It seems to me that a surrender happened within you during that time in your life, and the distraction of your ego went away, which allowed you to make a transcendent shift in your own approach to life. And you because you no longer had the distraction of your goals and your ambition and your desires for the life that you wanted to build as a professional athlete. It allowed you to notice the more subtle aspects of your human experience and how your presence alone in this world had a ripple effect on those around you, bringing you back to when you were just at the right place at the right time for a specific person. And even though that may have been happening in your life, your entire life, you weren't noticing because the surrender hadn't happened within you yet. I think that's beautiful. And I think that's, in a lot of cases, in a lot of people in this world, it does take something very traumatic for them to let a part of themselves die so that they can start paying attention to the world around them. And that's when the big transcendent shifts in people's lives happen. And it seems like that's what happened for you.
I appreciate that, Sniper. I do. And one of the big pieces that help me in these moments, for example, my Achilles, is this. Is this because I'm not alone. I'm not. Then I was alone. I was alone because I was so about me. And even if you would tell me anything in this world is about me, in my pain, my shame, and all, it's about me. This now I've realized that I needed to understand what that even meant. So now here I am, and it has nothing to do with me. Mm-hmm. I'm just the guy. I'm just a flawed man. I'm just a flawed man.
I'm just a flawed man.
And because of that, I think that's what makes the picture perfect. Is because by understanding that union still happens and more blessings come, and being fearless in those conversations where I thought I was gonna die, I felt like part of me died. Now I could have conversations with you guys, and you guys give me life.
You know what? We should start a podcast. where you should interview us on our stories as well. What do you think of that?
A good chance to start with cheesy openings, man.
I think I got some time, man, because I got to get this walking thing down. And as I get this walking thing down, I don't believe in coincidences anymore. And I think you might be onto something.
You know what? We should incorporate a name that has the word running in it. Because you, my friend, are a runner.
Because you didn't do a lot of running until later.
I will be running.
Running back?
Running back.
Yo, what's the name of your house, Shiv? What's that called?
The Running Bear.
The Running Bear. The Running
Bear.
Well then, Chris, welcome to the Running Bear.
Sign us off, man, for the first time.
The Running Bear. I like that. What is that? Does it make us a tribe? Are we we are?
Of course, we're a tribe. We've been
I
tribe
mean, we
for
don't
a
have to
long
be
time.
cheesy about it, but sure.
Are we friends?
Absolutely.
Are we friends?
Absolutely.
That'd be weird.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to the first episode of The Running Bear.